you going, everyone? I'm Green Zero, and we got some very special games for you today. Let's just quickly pause it while I go through the plays. Here we have myself playing Technique on Tournament Arena. We also have another player here observing, but this is from patch 1.03. It is out now. It's on the forums. Go over, download it, try it. We can't really assess it too much. It's too early. Me and the developer CGF, Crazy GDI Fan 123 as he's better known, we played a few games, and now we've got a lot more people in. So the more people, the better to test it, see what's wrong with it, and tweak it until we can get some good balance out of it. But so far the games have been really good. We realized that when people went in to play to win, that's when we actually saw how good the patch really was, instead of rigging matches and setting them up. So I've got a few replays here. They've all got me in, and I couldn't really find any decent ones with other people. A lot of games have been played, but it's not about winning here. It's about having a look at the patch, see what's going on. It will be updated. It's already been updated once. So we'll jump straight in. And we got myself up here in the left-hand corner. Probably just refer to myself in the third person. I'm not too sure how that's going to work out. And Technique is down here. So Tech, best player in Kane's Wrath, and we've got him on here testing the patch out, so we couldn't ask for a better player, really. I mean, he's the best player in Kane's Wrath, and I've said that twice now, and he's actually gone Surveyor. So I'm going to point out what's changed in the patch, and what people have been thinking about it, because we've had a lot of discussion on the forum, and the Surveyors, to start off with, are only $600. So once you sell them, it ends up being a $300 expansion. So it's very well worth to expand with Surveyor. You can see a few scouts going off there. Obviously, I'll win that one because I have 2 scouts and he has 1. And I split them up, send some down to the Spike. Combat Engineers have received a speed increase. At the moment, it's just too much. A lot of people have agreed that 40% was too much. So I think CGF is going to definitely nerf them down to, I'm not sure how much he said, they're going to be significantly slower so they can get caught by militants. But at the moment, they are a bit too quick. We just wanted to differentiate them from the other engineers because they never shoot, they never kill anything. And they have a tiny little bit of extra HP, but it doesn't make much difference. As you can see, I've seen his expansion over here. I thought he was going for blue tip because he did play me on this map once before and he beat me by going for his blue tip first, but he sells off and he just places a ref there, so he didn't go for the blue tip. I mean, it's empty. It's totally empty. There's only 2 crystals there, so he's not going to get too much out of that. Refineries, we're back to Kane's Wrath Eco 1.0. Should have probably said that first. So refineries at 2,000, harvesters at 1,400. Not sure how that's going to go. It's made the economy not stronger, but just smoother. You have a little bit more money at your disposal, but we seem to have curb spam somehow. A lot of people are into unit mixing right now. We haven't really seen any hardcore spam come from it, but only time will tell. I mean, this is a Steel Talons mirror, so we're probably not going to see a lot of spam in this game. Titans have received a slight buff, but they're still not going to stand up in the field against Predator tanks. They will still go down. They work best in cover. If anyone's seen the Silo Titan rush that I did against Technique under the new patch, it was pretty brutal. I mean, I just had a lot more money, and he really struggled to counter that. But he did go all Predator spam. We'll have to see how other tactics work. They were talking about nerfing silos. Not sure how that's going to go. As you can see, I'm going to expand with my Conyard here after Dual War Factory. Now, because I thought he went for the blue tip, I went Dual War Factory, and I'm just going to pump Titans and push him into his base. Hopefully I could just crush his harvesters and end it before he got too powerful. Because when he was Black Hand, I didn't attack quick enough on this level. As you can see, I've got some scouts here. I can see that he's got a base hit, so it's making me think maybe he didn't go for the blue crystal, or maybe he just sent a harvester up there. He has a few pitbulls, he's pumping out rockets. Infantry are a lot more viable in the game. They have a little bit more health, and AP ammo isn't so devastating against them. So now that's what forces a lot of the unit mixing. I think people are just a little bit scared of infantry. They're by far not overpowered. They can still get crushed, as you can see here. I'm just going to walk over these guys. Tech has a few Titans now, so he's going to stop these guys running in and crushing. These 2 Titans are just going to suicide in and try and get those rockets at least. These 2 Titans have been diverted up here, trying to sneak their way in, but Tech's obviously got too much defense here, and I've realized that I'm not going to get in. So I'm going to pull back. I've just gone full up Titans. It is a Steel Talons mirror, so these are probably going to be the best armored unit at this stage of the game. We'll see how it develops. So as you can see, I've rolled my Conyard a long way down south, and look at that, I'm pulling blue tip. Blue Tiberian field is almost fully grown, so I'm going to benefit from that. So that's going to keep my economy going, because Tech has expanded. He's got 3 and 2 over here. He's got Titans going out. Yeah, so with it, he's only got 1 ref on his main, but yeah, with the Economy at 1.0, you have a lot more money. Not a lot more money, but it's just easier to get your economy going. It makes it smoother. And again, it promotes aggressive play because you have more at your disposal. But at the same time, spam probably isn't the way you'd want to go. We'll have to see how that goes. I haven't really seen any hardcore Scorp spam. I do know that the Scorpion tank did receive some buffs that aren't welcomed. A lot of people on the forum are discussing putting them down a little bit. Nod Bike's also been buffed significantly. They can actually now defeat Pitbulls in a one fight, which is a little bit alarming. It just means if the enemy player's got Pitbulls, if the enemy player's got Bikes, you basically can't build Pitbulls at all because they'll never beat them. You can mix. That has seemed to work, and you see I've got a lot of Titans here, so it's a trying of Titan spam. I mean, I am getting blue Tiberium, so I'm pulling a ton of cash. Tech's got some Pitbulls back here, just harassing. I've dropped dual barracks and cranked out rockets now because I was worried that Tech was just going to push his army forward. Where is his army? It's up here. He's just kiting around, just maneuvering. I'm maneuvering as well. He doesn't quite get a harvester. I've got a few Titans there, but again, he's just going to run those away. Those Titans won't catch them. And now I've got economy up on all fields. My main field is dry. Moving the harvesters manually is still good to manage your economy manually and just not let them do that automatically, because a lot of the harvesters might just sit on your main field. And as you can see coming down here, I've actually destroyed his spike with some riflemen there from the start of the game. Spikes haven't received any benefits yet, so I think they're just going to keep that the same because they're worried about the start of the games where it's just going to be build order poker. Apparently, and you can see there's veteran mammoth tanks here. A lot of people aren't happy with that. As you see, I'm just going to get pushed back here. Technique has mammoth tanks. Steel Talons in general have veteran mammoth tanks, and that's going to make them significantly stronger against vanilla GDI. A lot of people are saying that vanilla GDI won't be able to take Steel Talons in a late game fight anymore. But really, you know, Steel Talons are supposed to be better than them in an armored fight, and they do have adaptive armor. They do have railgun accelerators, and as you can see, the rockets here just cranking them from the bunker. Their rocket speed has been increased, as you can see. That just prevents overkill a little, and I think that just makes the infantry a little bit better. That's why they're countering tank spam a bit more easier now. As you can see, Technique's left 2 behind, obviously by accident, and they're going to get taken down. Railguns upgraded. There's been no change in railguns. They're still the same price. The railgun accelerator has come down from 210 seconds to just 60 seconds. It was set to 50 seconds, but we decided that was a little bit too short. You could actually use it twice in one battle, just about, if it was a long battle. So it's 60-second recharge, so you can use it a fair bit. And with adaptive armor combined, adaptive armor actually has a cooldown now. When the adaptive armor wears off, you have to wait 5 seconds before you can put it back on. So it gives players an opportunity to emp them. So if you want to emp Steel Talons, wait until they've used their adaptive armor. And when it comes off, quickly emp them then, because that's when they're vulnerable. They can't put it on for 5 seconds after it comes off. And as you can see, I'm in trouble here because he has railguns and I don't. I've got AP ammo. As you can see, AP ammo isn't so massively overpowered. There's a lot of rifleman squads here, but they're only facing other rifleman squads, and these Titans aren't going to stand up against these mammoth tanks. They're going to get shot down. And as you can see, he's just actually smashing these guys. Managed to bring the health down on that mammoth tank a lot. Again, people are worried about veteran mammoths in the GDI matchup. I mean, they're very slow still. They will get dominated by enemy support powers. They'll be able to survive against Amp because they're adaptive armor, but Technique has not gone the AA upgrade, and he is getting chased down by infantry. He's suffering here because he doesn't have any anti-inf, and he makes a big mistake here. I think he built these slingshots because he thought I was going air, but he tries to crush and realizes, hang on, they're not crushing, and he loses them all. They went in, he tried to get them out. Yeah, the slingshots can't crush anymore, and people are really questioning that. The slingshots as well, their standard AA upgrade I think has been buffed a little bit, but their tungsten has been nerfed along with the rest of tungsten, which a lot of people are questioning here because the slingshots aren't actually being able to beat Zocom anymore. The Zocom players with their hammerheads and such can just kind of walk into enemy bases even if there's tungsten there, and they can get their units out pretty well. Tungsten probably didn't need a nerf. A lot of people are agreeing that tungsten was fine. I'm not sure how that's going to go. I think CGF was talking about a slight armor buff to slingshots because they are quite weak. They're $1,000 dedicated anti-air, and they can't crush infantry anymore, which means they got a one-purpose thing. They are fast, but yeah, a slight armor increase will help them against hammerheads. I mean, even against normal hammerheads without their upgrade. I mean, Tech had another fight where his slingshots were losing to just a handful of hammerheads. He had a couple of slingshots versus a couple of hammerheads with rockets, and he was just getting kited and killed, and so it wasn't very effective. He didn't have tungsten, of course, so maybe he needed that, but still, the slingshot should be able to provide a pretty good anti-air, especially against that kind of force. And here you go. I've got a lot of unit mixes. I've got a lot of rockets, a lot of Titans, a lot of not a lot of mammoth tanks, a couple veterans in there. So Tech's in trouble. He's pulling back. He's just gone hardcore mammoth tank, and there's going to be some weaknesses in that, in the fact that he won't be able to take these rockets very well at all. So both sides probably looking to use the RGA. I'd use it up here sometime soon. I think there's actually no effect. It's hard to see when the RGA gets used. You can see there's kind of a glow on the Titans there and that mammoth tank as they're firing, and Technique uses the adaptive armor. I only use the adaptive armor on the ones at the front because they're the ones getting shot, while the ones at the back get full RGA. RGA is still beneficial with adaptive armor because they'll still have an increase in fire, but I like to use RGA to really overpower my opponent and not nerf it with the RGA. There's actually a heroic mammoth tank there because it got quite a few kills. It goes down straight away though because it had such little health left, and Technique's probably going to be able to hold here. He lost his economy. He's going to lose these two tanks again. Those rockets really making a difference. The Titans not really being able to stand up against veteran mammoth tanks, and another elite mammoth tank there. Because the mammoth tanks now start at veteran, they actually get a little bit of a firepower bonus, and because it's mammoths killing mammoths, they're actually getting a lot of upgrades from each other, or a lot of experience, should I say, not upgrades. Yeah, so I've had a couple of games where I've got heroic mammoths, but again, that's been worked, and you really have to kill a lot of a hardcore enemy armor to get that and finish them off. So it is pretty much luck to get a heroic, and management, a little bit of management. I mean, there was a screen game where I got 2 heroic mammoths and I still lost. The screen player was just too powerful still. And Technique's going to suffer here because he does not have any anti-imp. Again, he just went hardcore mammoths, and it has been exposed as being weak. I've got mammoths, not as much as Tech, but the infantry has really helped me just push him back. He needs that Tiberium to keep going. As you can see, he's still got 4 tanks here. At this stage of the game, I thought maybe I'd cracked him, but he was still cranking mammoth tanks, so that had me worried. I think I go air at some stage. Orcas, they were too OP in the first update. They have been rectified, so their rate of fire is a little bit slower now. Not as slow as 1.02, I don't think. I'm actually not sure on the stats there, but they don't seem to be as powerful now. Although against harvesters, 4 orcas can take 4 harvesters, so that is very alarming in some sense. If they sneak up on you, they can really hurt your economy. And again, these guys are going to go in here. Adaptive armor on the front tank, giving it a lot of health, especially since it's elite. Look at that, it's actually absorbing a fair bit of power. Obviously goes down now, but I used the RGA, and then Tech retreated, so I was like, oh no, I'm just hurting my own units. So I put the adaptive armor on just to nerf the RGA a little bit. So that wasn't good for me. Wasted my RGA, hurt my tanks a little bit, and Tech actually pulled out before I could really commit to that battle. So with the RGA cooldown just at 60 seconds, you can use it a lot more. You should try and avoid taking on mammoth tanks. Against Nod and Scrin, they seem balanced, to be honest. I've fought against Scrin and they don't seem to have too much trouble unless they just purposely ram everything they have into them, which is not probably what they'd want to do. They are very vulnerable to things like disintegrators, which are really easy to get for Scrin. They can disintegrator spam and really hurt mammoth tanks. You really need unit mixing. They're vulnerable to air. They only have their rockets for air, and you really shouldn't take them on with other armor unless you're a Steel Talons or a GDI player. I mean, GDI mammoth tanks should do okay against them, not as good obviously. They're going to want unit mix, put infantry in there. Yeah,